Harry Crapper is no stranger to training big competition winners and is a very popular man in our sport. But in 2015, Harry retired from training greyhounds in what was an incredibly sad time for him and his family.
My wife became very ill and I had to nurse her along, and we kind of knew it was terminal, but basically it was something I didn't want to accept, but there we are. It happened and I have to get over it, and that's it. It's difficult, but there we are.
And do you miss training greyhounds?
I do miss training greyhounds, yes. I mean, I still get a great thrill out of seeing a good, nice looking greyhound, fit, well muscled greyhound. It's a great sight. So yeah, I had to pack it up, but unfortunately I've got one or two issues now with arthritis and such, so I don't really think I'd be fit enough to come back and do one justice if I started again. So I think I'll just call it a day. Well, I was going to say get out at the top, but that's no, that's not right.
Well,
really.
You did have plenty of
I had plenty of
success over a long career. What do you put your success down to? What do you think you did that made you so good at what you did?
Well, you kind of just do the basics, Julie. What you have to do, basically most of it is common sense, and you have to keep the dogs happy and feed them well. Basically everything else, if you're using that common sense, kind of fits into place.
You came second in the Derby twice, both with big price greyhounds. So,
yeah.
I mean, do you look back and do you think, damn, I wish I'd won it, or are you proud of the achievement?
At the time, I was so proud and delighted the way they ran. Now I kind of look back, and now I know it's not going to happen for me in future. I kind of look back and wish, oh, if that neck had just been the other way, but there we are. I was pleased that they got there in the final. I was delighted that both dogs did the best running in the final, because they were both big outsiders. They both did the best running in the final, and I suppose if you're a trainer, what more can you expect from your dogs, just to get the best out of them?
And particularly that 1983 one at White City, you look back at that and think,
yes.
You know, the crowd and everything about
crowd
it
and
was
everything
so
about
different.
it, and a grass track, which I always tended to favour. It certainly looked better anyway, the grass track. And, if you have a look back on it, I just think it looks a wonderful occasion. Yeah.
You're a big one for injuries and checking dogs over and making sure that everything's okay before you race them, aren't you? And you really, over your career, developed that learning to be able to check a dog over very well, something we don't always see now.
Something that you don't always see so much now. I mean, you know, I hear trainers say that oh, they've got this dog and I've had it checked out. And, well, you're the trainer, that's your job. You know, that, to me, that's my way of thinking. That should be your job. That should be part of what the owner pays you to do.
Must have been a natural with a greyhound, and this is probably going to be a difficult question over such a long career, but best dog you trained and your best moment in the sport?
It was the best moment, getting beat in the Derby final. It was a brilliant event. The best dog I trained was a dog called Jeb Rambler. And when I say best, it wasn't it was a fast dog. Wasn't necessarily the fastest dog I trained, but it was the best. And I always remember saying that his record was that he won opens on 11 different tracks, and from every trap position. Now that's a pretty good greyhound. What does that? So yeah, he would, and a lovely dog too. I kept him until he died. You know, yeah, lovely dog, lovely gentleman of a dog.
Obviously, another greyhound that massively put you on the map was Frisbee Folly, and you still look back with fond memories.
Oh, with fond memories, yeah. I mean, I love the bitch. She was a beautiful bitch, lovely temperament. She won a good few races, culminating in the St Leger. So that was a great evening. And then she won the Racing Post Stayers Festival at Walthamstow. But yeah, she was a lovely bitch, Frisbee Folly, and I kept her at home afterwards. She had a few litters, and she bred really good, genuine dogs, but never anything up to her standard.
And talking of lovely dogs, you're not on your own, are you, at home? You've got
Oh.
you've got a right-hand man.
I've got a right-hand man now, yes. Yeah, I had a dog what was racing. Well, I trained at the time, and then when I retired, I moved it across to Barry Draper to train.
And people will remember him as
A dog called
Dinzeo.
Dinzeo, yes. And it was a pretty good dog. Ran quite a few times on Sky Sports and such, and won a good few races. I now have him at home, somebody for me to talk to. Yeah. So yeah.
He's a lovely boy.
Lovely,
It's
lovely
nice
boy.
to see him again today. We've also seen an article that you bought here, written
Yes.
6 years ago, about things you'd like to see done differently in the sport and the changes you'd like to see. And frankly, that could have been written yesterday because still so much is the same. What do you make of the sport now?
Well, I'm a little bit despondent with the way things are going in the sport, to be honest. Certain tracks are trying their best to, Toaster do a brilliant job. And they're trying their best to make it look okay, but I don't know. I just kind of fear the worst. I don't want to be too pessimistic about everything, but I would like to see something a little bit more to encourage me to think that it's got a big future.
Once you retired, you were honoured at the Greyhound Board of Great Britain Awards. The GWA gave you a Lifetime Achievement Award, which was a big surprise to you at the time, but
surprise to me.
something you look back and you're pretty proud of.
Oh, definitely, yes. I think it was Jonathan Kay what was doing the. He was up there speaking, and he says, "Oh, there's a special award here, and Lifetime Achievement Award." And then he mentioned On Spec, which was a dog I trained to win the Derby, and then my ears. And then he said it was me, like, and I was just amazed. And going up to the stage, to get the award, and all the people stood up and clapped, I was just stunned. They gave me this award, and I would have liked to have thanked them for it, because it was wonderful, even though it was such a shock.
Greyhound racing was such a big part of your life. Is it a part of your life that you enjoyed?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. It's I've met some wonderful people along the way. One or two not so clever, not so nice characters, but that happens in every business, I suppose. But I've made some really good friends out of greyhound racing, and I've got good friends in Ireland, some Irish friends, and yeah, it's been wonderful. And I suppose overall it's been a fairly healthy life. It's been better than working in a factory or going down the pit. So, and I've worked with animals, which I've always liked doing. So, yes, I've been very, very lucky.